Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical, and today for you guys we're going to be taking a look at quite an interesting corner of Kingdom Hearts 2. Today we're going to be taking a look at censorship within Kingdom Hearts 2. Now when comparing the Japanese and international version of KH2, there's actually quite a lot of things that got censored for the international version, and still to this day we don't actually understand exactly why this ended up happening for the international version. Square Enix have actually never stepped forward to announce any information as to why they censored certain things for the international version but kept them as they were in the Japanese version. A lot of this stuff is actually really interesting, but still to this day people find it very confusing as to why these different things ended up getting censored. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first piece of censorship that we're going to be taking a look at is something that you guys are probably quite familiar with, and that is the Hydra boss fight for the Japanese version. So in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2, where you go ahead and of course fight the Hydra in Olympus Coliseum, you guys will notice that whenever Sora actually inflicts any damage towards the Hydra, some green blood will actually come out. Now for the international version, the green blood is actually not present. Rather, instead, there's kind of like this darkness type effect that will pop out of the Hydra whenever you inflict some damage. It remains unknown as to why Square Enix put the green blood in the Japanese version, but for some reason removed it from the international version. And what's crazy about this is even in Disney's animated movie Hercules, the green blood comes out of the Hydra, so it makes pretty much zero sense as to why the green blood is not present in the international version. Another piece of interesting censorship is Kairi's underpants. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably know about this piece of censorship, but essentially in the very original PlayStation 2 version of Kingdom Hearts, including the international version, if you were to actually say, I don't know, take a sneaky look underneath Kairi's skirt, you'll actually notice that she is wearing underpants. Now, for the HD remix version of Kingdom Hearts 2, those underpants actually ended up getting removed. So for some reason, Square Enix actually went ahead and edited her model, removing the underpants for the HD remix version of Kingdom Hearts 2, which is pretty damn strange. Maybe Square Enix originally designed Kairi's model in Kingdom Hearts 2 to wear underpants, but with the thought in mind that people would never actually look underneath her skirt. Oh, how Square Enix was so wrong. Axel's death in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2 actually has one small detail that the international version is actually missing. Now, when Axel actually is perishing, and of course he's dying on the floor with Sora next to him in the international version, essentially he's kind of fading away. You guys will notice these sort of black particle effects sort of fading off him. Now in the Japanese version, the same thing is present. However, when he actually vanishes towards the end of Sora and Axel's sort of conversation, you guys will notice a small burst of flames. This burst of flames was actually removed from the international version, and still to this day in the HD remix of the Japanese version, it's still present, but not for the international version, which once again is really strange. I mean, really, Square, is it too hard to ask for a little bit of blood and a little bit of flames? In the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2, where we see the cutscene of Will Turner threatening Barbossa with suicide, that cutscene is actually extremely different in the Japanese version. So in the Japanese version, in the cutscene, we actually see Will Turner putting his gun to his face when of course he's threatening Barbossa with suicide. Now in the international version, where we see Will Turner threatening Barbossa with suicide, he doesn't actually put his gun up to his face. Now in the cutscene itself, he still explains that if he has to, he will commit suicide in order to of course negotiate with Barbossa. But yeah, he just doesn't put the gun up to his head, which is strange. Once again, we see this in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, it's in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2, but for some strange reason, Square Enix removed it from the international version. This actually meant that Square Enix had to go ahead and reanimate that cutscene for the international release of the game. And finally, in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2, in the cutscene where we see Barbossa stab Jack Sparrow with a sword to of course reveal the fact that Jack 2 also bears the curse of the undead, in this cutscene for the Japanese version, Barbosa's sword actually stays within Jack throughout the cutscene, sticking through his torso. Now in the international version, the sword is actually not sticking inside of Jack while the cutscene rolls on. Once again, it's one of those sort of scenarios where it's hard to sort of figure out why Square Enix removed a certain thing from the cutscene but kept it for the Japanese version. But however guys, that is all for today. That is most of the interesting sort of censorship that is found within Kingdom Hearts 2. Like I've mentioned, there is pretty much no explanation as to why Square Enix kept certain things for the Japanese version, but to this day have continued to censor those things for the international version of Kingdom Hearts 2. It could be something to do with different countries' sort of rating systems, whereas Japan might actually be more lenient with sort of age ratings on their video games. But honestly, I'm not entirely too sure. It's too hard to tell without Square Enix actually stepping forward for themselves to explain the situation. However guys, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.